Alright, shifters, we're back. Thank you very much for joining us today. My name is Vladimir Jean-Gilles. I'm the film section editor for ShifterMagazine.com. And today we're joined once more by Lisa Martel. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Well,
excited to be here.
Aside from Rawblack, who's joining us once more.
What's up, man? I'm back.
Yeah, alright. And Mathieu, Chin-Quee, how you doing, man?
Tell me.
So if you didn't get the hint, we're gonna talk some Batman v Superman stuff today. Let's
get into it.
Let's get
into it.
Lisa, get us into it.
All right. Well, fans versus critics. Dawn of fanboyism. Following the release of Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice, fans and critics have been divided as to whether or not the movie was a success or a failure. Currently sitting with a 29% critic rating on Rotten Tomatoes and 73% fans rating, the new installment of the DCEU has managed to make over $700 million at the box office. Matt, what is your point of view on the situation? Was Batman vs. Superman a success or a failure?
Okay, well, short answer, yes, it was a failure. Long answer, it's really complicated. I came out of Batman vs. Superman not completely hating it like some other people sitting on this couch, but I didn't love it either. There are some great parts in this movie, but some that are just make me sit there and go, what on earth were you thinking?
Why?
Like the 29% on Rotten Tomatoes though, I think that's a little bit low. I think it should be up near where Man of Steel is at, because there are still some great things worth seeing in the theater, and the visuals and the fights, oh my god, they're amazing. Some of the best we've ever seen in terms of the superhero genre. But overall, the film was nothing, was not cut out the way it was supposed to be. Now, in terms of the box office, you may look at the $700 million and say, holy crap, that's a lot of money. But the way WB is looking at it, they spent $200 million on the production of this movie.
Plus marketing.
And that's almost it's rumored another $200 million. That's $400 million. Just to make your money back, you have to make that much. And $700 million, it seems like a lot, but to WB, that's nothing than what they were expecting. And this last Friday's estimates are coming in at $6 million behind the new Melissa McCarthy garbage fest, the Boss, and Jungle Book next week. It's really not looking good financially for Batman vs. Superman, so I'm sure we'll have a lot more to say about it, but financially it's not looking good. Critically, it's not great.
No.
So what do you think, man?
Honestly, I do not go with numerical values on my rating of movies, but I would have to give this movie, all in all, an average review. Be it 50%, however you want to take it. The reason being is, as he said, the visual points are excellent in this movie. There are so many excellent parts of this movie, but they're all drowned in some crap. Pardon my language, but it's really bad. I mean, the DCU has many epic and monumental stories that you can draw from. A lot of them were touched on in this movie, and that's why I feel like at the same time it failed on the story wise and the editing. Everybody knows this at this point. I want to see the 3-hour rated R director's cut when it comes out this July, but otherwise, they bungled so many great stories just for the sake and the corporate decisions behind it, just for having Batman versus Superman, the Justice League tie-in, the other stuff.
Luthor origin, Wonder Woman origin,
the Lex Luthor. I'm not going to mention, I do not regard what we saw in that movie as Lex Luthor.
Neither do I.
Let me tell you something. I'm a huge fan of the pinnacle of humanity. That was Lex Luthor in the Superman animated series.
Oh my
this
God,
guy was a boss.
Yeah.
He was a boss. Yeah. He was a genius. He was a fighter. He would strap up and fight Superman. I mean,
I'm coming for you.
Like, literally. This guy was what humans would be at the top of their game. And we got, what did we get?
Well, the thing is, Jesse Eisenberg was originally cast as Jimmy Olsen or the Riddler, and I feel like they're just like, you know what, let's cast him as Lex Luthor, it'll be funny. But we're not going to change his story or change his character. We're just going to keep him as a Riddler. Yeah. So he's this Joker, this evil scientist.
He would have been a good Batman villain. Here's my take on it. So, As you guys are aware on this panel, I am not the biggest fan of this movie. Was it a failure? Here's my answer. No, I don't think it was a failure. I think it was a major disappointment. Especially now, I'm saying that and there's obviously people ready to jump on me saying, "Oh, I'm a Marvel fanboy." And I wanted to love this movie so much. I refuse to be one of those film critics going, yeah, it didn't really fit the standard of cinema. And I was like, no. This is Batman v Superman. I know what I'm going for, and I tried so hard to like it, but the way this movie is edited, listen, this video will be. The editing in this video is going to be better than some of the scenes edited in Batman v Superman. I'm not joking. If you haven't seen this movie, or if you have seen it, think about it. The editing in this video will be better than some of the scenes that were edited in Batman v Superman. This is insane because on a filmmaking standard, you're receiving $250 million budget to make a movie and you give me that crap? Listen, there's cool moments in the movie.
Oh yeah.
It's Batman v Superman. There's obviously cool moments, but the way the story flows, even by the time you get to the Batman v Superman the fight, you're like, oh yeah, they have to fight. That's kind of how I felt. I felt like the movie just didn't know what to focus on. They were like, oh man, it's called Batman v Superman. We have to. Oh, they have to fight.
They have
just
to fight.
Force it in. And I was like,
force it in. That's exactly the point.
And
they forced in so many things in this movie.
Exactly.
It's like they were building it up, and then by the time they got to the fight, they're like, oh yeah, we have that to do still. You know,
pretty much. And again, the reason why I say it's not a failure, because financially, yeah, it hasn't made as much money as Warner Brothers wanted to make, but here's how I look at it. It still made $700 million so far on its third week. So
will it break the billion though, do you think?
I don't think so, because it's actually already, I was reading some reports online saying that it will make less money than Man of Steel overall. That's the predictions. So financially, I mean, it's not a failure because the movie is not going to be a flop. It's going to make more money than if it had just broken even. But again, remember, The Amazing Spider-Man 2 was also financially successful, and how did that turn out?
It was a bomb.
Exactly.
Well, I will say this in its favor. It got us Spidey in the Marvel universe. So
that is true.
But again, like even if a movie is financially successful, this is what studios want to see. They want to see money going up. You know,
true.
They want to see the returns increasing after every movies. They don't want to see this happening, right? And again, even though Sony made a lot of money with the Amazing Spider-Man 2, they look at the return. They're like, yeah, it'd be better if we just scrap this all together and just reboot it again. You know?
Yeah.
And okay, I'm not saying that this is what's gonna happen with the DCEU. Is it in trouble? I don't think so. I think. Because again, it's divided, right? Some fans really like it, some critics really hate it. But again, I think they still have a lot of movies to look forward to. We still have Wonder Woman coming out. We still have Cyborg. We still have Aquaman. I have high expectations of Aquaman. James Wan. Yeah, come on.
James Wan.
And last but not least, also Justice League Part 1, which is filming right now. It's just, I don't even know how they're gonna handle that storyline, given how Batman v Superman ended. I'm not gonna give away any spoilers.
Oh yeah.
But again, I think that I think there's ways for them to redeem themselves. This is why I don't call it a failure. I don't think they fell to a point where it's like, no, we Fantastic Four. We're gonna try to.
No.
We're gonna. No. I think they can still, redeem
and I agree with that. It's not a complete failure, but it's just really a middling and divisive movie. Yeah. Within myself, I still can't figure out if I hate it completely or I love it completely. That's why I have to give it an average review, really.
Lisa, you haven't seen the movie yet.
No, I'm about to go see it.
Yeah, you're about to see it.
Yep, I'm excited. However, I wanted to ask you guys, from an actor standpoint, did you find that the people that they did cast, for example, there was a lot of, doubt with Ben Affleck coming in as Batman?
I call it since day one. I said Ben Affleck was gonna be the best Batman. Yeah. So
what were your thoughts on his performance individually?
Well, I can tell you this.
Yeah.
All in all, as the whole cast came up and they showed up to play, the acting was excellent. Except Lex Luthor.
Yeah, I was wondering, even from the trailer.
He is grating, he is annoying, he is everything we hoped we didn't see in this movie, but unfortunately we got.
I wanted to smack him in the face. And
I'm not going to pin that on Jesse Eisenberg.
I was wondering.
No, it's the writing. It's the writing.
It's not a good character.
It's not a good
It's the
character.
writing. Again, even Henry Cavill as Superman. I mean, you look at it and you're like, well, you know, his performance wasn't bad. It's not to say the least. It's just he wasn't given the material to shine, and you can tell that as an actor he's like, well, this is what I'm given, I'm gonna just shine through it, which he did. But again, in the writing you can see the weakness of the writing, especially given the fact that Superman makes some questionable choices in this movie that we're not gonna get into.
For some reason I pictured Lex Luthor being a bit older than what Jesse Eisenberg presented with this character, and from the trailer I could see his character taking on that personality that you guys were discussing earlier, you know, the kind of Riddler-ish type, you know, kind of more quirky. And like you said, I've seen a lot of, you know, Superman versions, you know, from the past, you know, film-wise, television-wise, and with all those presentations, the character of Lex Luthor is, as you said, you know, what did you say he was?
The pinnacle of humanity.
The pinnacle of humanity. I can't foresee Jesse Eisenberg
embodying that role whatsoever.
Exactly.
As he said, the character was not supposed to be there.
And what's up with him just randomly shaving his head at the end?
Again, let's not get into that. But guys, that was our opinion on the whole situation with Batman v Superman. We still encourage you to watch it if you haven't seen it.
No, it's not.
I just want to get your takes on being a diehard fan of the comic book world. Did they do a great adaptation from being a diehard fan
Let's not get into that, because here's the thing. There are multiple stories that are jam-packed in this movie.
Yeah.
Right.
This movie honestly should have been 3 or 4 different excellent movies. But the fact that they had to chop it all into one movie really hurts it.
Yeah.
And exactly, it's a desperate ploy to catch up to Marvel. What they should have done is every idea touched upon in this movie should have had its own time to shine, its own movie to explore it, to flesh it out.
Yep.
Because all of these stories are excellent. But the problem is, they just wanted too much too quickly. They just try to jam-pack it all in one movie. And that's what ultimately really hurts this movie to me.
Well, you've heard it all. So make sure that you leave a comment in the comment section down below. Let us know your point of view on the situation with Batman v Superman. And that was Vladimir for ShifterOnFilm. You can find me everywhere at Just As Vlad, and follow us on Facebook at ShifterOnFilm and on Instagram. Mathieu, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Chin-Quee 96 and on Instagram at Chinks96.
All right, inside.
You can find me on YouTube, Twitter, all that good stuff at Rawblack, one word, Rawblack.
And Lisa?
You can find me on Instagram at the Mona Lisa 07 and on Twitter at Lisa Martel and Facebook.
And again, that was everything for today, but thanks for watching. We'll see you later. Take care, guys.
Thank you.